will not tell me how to raise my son! Get off of me!
Not long after being released from prison, Louis came to visit his child, but he was met with his ex-wife's resistance.
Well, I look a lot better with a check in my hand.
And I'd look like a movie star with a check in mine. But just because a man doesn't have one doesn't mean he can't see his son.
At that moment, the child's white stepfather intervened. He did this because he was afraid Louis would discover the boy was being tortured inhumanely.
Well, let's let Jamar decide. Jamar, come on out, son. Jamar, it's your dad.
Because the boy had been abused by his stepfather for so long, he was full of fear and couldn't respond to his father's call. When Louis finally got to see his son, he eagerly took out new clothes to dress the child. But in the process, he discovered something serious.
Is that a sports injury? Is something going on at home?
Sometimes Todd has a bad temper.
Does your mother know about this?
Enraged, Louis stormed into the stepfather's house. When he confronted him, the stepfather responded smugly.
How you doing, buddy?
Talk to me about punching my son in his chest.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Go ahead. Take a look.
The woman looked at her son's wounds with no surprise at all. The stepfather, meanwhile, tried to cover up his abusive actions with ridiculous excuses.
Jamar tell you that he shoved me first?
Wow. He hit me first. That's very adult of you, Todd. He shoved you because you told him he was a worthless piece of dirt.
The stepfather didn't think he had done anything wrong, and even blamed Louis for sticking his nose where it didn't belong. Even more surprisingly, the woman stepped in to defend her husband. For the sake of his son,
Why don't you take Jamar back to your mom's? We're gonna talk about this in the morning.
Louis finally chose to compromise. He didn't want his child to witness the uncomfortable scene of adults arguing, but just as he was about to leave with his son, the stepfather suddenly announced a new rule to him.
If Jamar disobeys me, if he disrespects me, I will discipline him any way that I see fit.
Looking at the shameless man, Louis's suppressed emotions finally exploded.
You will not tell me how to raise my son! Get off of me!
The woman looked at the stepfather's miserable state, telling Louis to hurry and take his son away, and even threatened to send him back to prison again.